video. Currently right now it's like 6 in the morning, so on my way to work, but I want to be able to make this video before I go to work. So what I'm going to be talking about is why I feel like lifting your Ram 1500 or lifting your truck in general is not a good idea. And I know a lot of people might feel some kind of way about it, but at the end of the day, this is my personal opinion and this is what I experienced. I'm not saying just because I experienced something else, you're going to experience the same exact thing. I'm not saying that. And also, it is a free will. You can do whatever you want to do with your vehicle at the end of the day. But I'm just making this video to be able to share with those who don't really have that kind of knowledge about, what really comes with it when you lift your Ram or your truck in general, like what I personally experienced. So obviously my 2014 Dodge Ram is not lifted, and I'm not talking about this truck. I'm talking about my 2006 Dodge Ram. This is a picture of it right here. And I did some things with it that I regret some stuff. I wouldn't say regret, but I kind of felt some kind of way about some things I did because it came with a bunch of different problems for me at the end of the day. So the kind of lift I had on that truck was a 6-inch lift from ProComp, and I think I had about a 3-inch leveling kit on it. So it was saying that 6, 7, 8. So about 9, I said about 9 inch. It was saying that. It was kind of high up. So 6.5 inch lift, 6-inch lift is not really that big for most people. I think that's like the average lift size that most people want to put on the truck. But when you decide to add 3 more inches from a leveling kit, then that's when it get a little bit more bigger, and then it does come with a little bit more problems. So, and then that didn't help because I also decided to do super wide tires on there, which was 22 by 14s, and that was when my problem really started, when I decided to do that. Super heavy tires from I think it was Venom Power tires I had on there, and it was 14 wide. Never had spacers on there, and they were sticking out about at least like 2.5 to 3 inches, I said. And I'm in PA, so PA, that's like a huge red flag right there for the cops when they see you driving a truck like that, kind of look like from down south. I'm assuming they allow to do it down south, but out here in PA, if you do that, you're definitely gonna get pulled over back to back, especially in Jersey. So this is why I feel like it's not really a good thing, because when I decided to put those tires on my truck, those real wide, big tires on my truck, I had my ball joints, and I had, I think I had to constantly replace my wheel bearing. Wheel bearing. That's why I had to constantly replace. So within that first year, I say I went through at least, the first time I experienced it was because the shop that I went to was like a desperate thing I did, which I should have never did, because they end up doing real cheap wheel bearings, and that is like went bad like within a week. And then I had to take it back there and they replaced it with something more expensive. But I went through at least like four times replaced my wheel bearing because of how heavy those tires was. Those tires was at least like weighing at least like a good solid 50 pounds, I'll say, or probably a little bit more over there, because they were real wide tires. It's like, that's where I really effed up at. And then I started going through the issues of that. And then also another thing that I really had zero issue with knowing is when you decide to put like a huge tire like that on a gas truck, it's not a diesel truck, obviously. Diesel can handle more. They, built for hauling and stuff like that. So it's a gas truck. And my brake pads was wearing out more because of how heavy the tires on the truck was. And, you know, frequent stops, my brakes trying to stop something that heavy was kind of like wearing out my brake pads and stuff. So that was another issue I was dealing with. I had a lot of squeaking noise on that truck, but I had to get it. It was like a constant repair after repair and stuff like that. And not only another thing too I was dealing with was a very bad gas mileage. Like my gas mileage was like super bad to where I had to personally like really like just like go through buying gas like every probably 2 days, 3 days or something like that, because that was like my daily driver. So, and the fact too, another thing I was dealing with is the fact that when you put wide tires on your truck or when you lift up your truck, it really just like invite dirt and anything that's on the road to get on the inside of your truck or the underneath of your truck or the side of your truck. It was just so much stuff that I was dealing with at that point that I really thought it was just gonna be I thought it was gonna be just a fun, cool looking truck. It was a fun, cool looking truck, don't get me wrong, but it came with a lot of stuff where I didn't really know because it was my first time doing it. I just seen, you know, I seen the look on, you know, different trucks and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that looked real sick, the real big tires and stuff. And then the lift I had on there, the lift, it sucks because one of the things about having a lifted truck that I really disliked it. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against like lifted trucks, but it's just the thing that I was dealing with was every now and then when you get in, like you start to feel it, man. When you get in and out of your truck, you gonna really feel like it gets tiring, like. And the fact that I didn't want to put steps on the side of my truck, so I'm not really a fan of like the steps on the side. So I ain't really was feeling it. So, but that constantly getting out of your truck, going back in your truck, man, I start getting real like tired of doing it. I start getting real tired of doing it, and it's just a lot of things that come with it. When you lift your ram, you got to be able to put the right upper control arms on there and lower control arms. And you can run stock, but once you get to like a certain height, like probably I think 6 inch, you might be cool, but when you start to go up a little bit more higher, that's when stuff start to get real tricky. And then you really gotta start upgrade, like you gotta upgrade like a bunch of parts on your car, because your truck not really gonna ride like regular like it used to before, because it's not really made unless it came from factory like that. But if you putting a truck on like a truck that's not meant to be at that kind of height, especially too, it was an older vehicle, like it was a lot of things I had to replace on there, and I really didn't see that. I just seen the looks, and you know, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy it for the time being, but I'll definitely say what I learned from that is, man, whatever you decide you want to do at the end of the day, you just got to make sure you understand there's always a good and a bad side to it. Like, you got to really just understand, sit and think about it, understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. I'm not saying here to talk bad about lifted trucks or this and that. I just feel like, personally, I feel like it was a bad idea for me. I'm not saying it's a bad idea for you or whatever, but it all depends too on who really like stuff to, like who you go to do like the work to put the lift kit on there. Like my mechanic, he did like a real good job with the lift kit on there. I didn't have any kind of issue with the lift kit, just the fact that I'm just saying that it was a lot of stuff that came with like lifting the truck and stuff. So I was dealing with a bunch of things, like I said, bad gas mileage. I had to repair a lot of different parts. I had to buy some new parts to upgrade to try to make the truck drive a lot more better. Like, and then I was dealing with alignment issue. That's another thing I was dealing with because of them wide tires that I decided to put on there. Like, there was just a lot of things that came with it, man. But I'm not here to talk bad about whatever you want to do at the end of the day. That's not the point of me making this video, but just me sharing my thoughts, just to be able to give you guys like a heads up if you plan on doing it, if you really don't know much, what to really expect. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful. I'm about to head into work, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.